sex and how energy is transferred. So, this is a topic that has kind of run rampant in our society. When I was a kid, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have the internet until I was probably 10 years old, and then it was dial up, and then, we went from dial up to stronger connections over time. It's one of those things that I think in the early 90s, they finally started offering dial up in the country areas that I lived in, and it was magical to experience. But we never thought it would bring us to this new world of information and technology that just exploded and shifted and changed on its own. And what happened over time is we got, we used to have phones. For those of you who are younger, you probably don't know about the old flip phones, the old, bricks, cell phones that were essentially bricks. Uh, in that because we moved to smartphones. Uh, Smartphones. I think I had my first smartphone in 2000, and man, it was probably 2007 when I had a BlackBerry. For those of you who had Blackberries, and then a smartphone probably like 2011, 2012. So uh, there was a long period of time before apps really existed, and I existed in that space and never thought this one thing would occur. So with apps came instant satisfaction, came ordering service, and came dating. And dating completely shifted to the online world, and especially for younger generations, it shifted to your phone, it shifted to swipe left, swipe right, and it shifted to not understanding who someone was, but just looking at their image and going, oh, they're visually appealing. I like them. I want to go on a date with them. But then it shifted from going on dates to having sex and just transferring energy, just going out and being like, yes, we're just going to go out. We're going to get a hookup. We're going to have a one night stand. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Now, back before these apps, that stuff occurred, but I don't think it was, or don't believe it was as rampant is the word I would use, because of how people have been programmed to swipe left, swipe right, programmed to that addictive mentality, and programmed into uh, the ideas they have around relationships and meaningless relationships and that sort of thing. So a lot of people who are, especially younger people, are on these sex dating apps. Tinder being one of them, where they're hookup apps. It's probably a better way to say it, hookup apps. And doing these activities, not understanding the truth nature of sex. Sex is an energy exchange. It's a sacred energy exchange between two people. Yes, it's fun. Yes, you can say like it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's intimate, it's for some people it's a distraction from life. It's all these different things. At its core, no matter what it is to you psychologically, no matter how it makes you feel and all that, it is an energy exchange. That means if you are higher vibrational and you are going out and having sex with a person, and they are lower vibrational, they're going to shift your energy. They're going to bring your energy down. They're going to lift themselves up. They're going to feel better. You're going to feel further down. It's going to shift your vibration, because energy is being exchanged and shifted and balanced out and leveled as you have sex. So when you're doing that too, if they're lower vibrational and they have energetic parasites, they have other beings attached to them, they have traumas they're dealing with, they have different energetic issues that can be transferred over to you to deal with. Sex is an energy exchange. It's binding two energetic fields together. It's doing things in a physical way that allows energy to exchange between each other. And when you do that, you affect your energy, sometimes to its detriment, sometimes in a very negative way, because you're taking on the energy of others that is unhealed, that is trauma, that is parasitic, all these low vibrational things, which keeps you from rising up. So if you're raising your vibration and you're going out and you're having sex with strangers, people you don't know, how do you know what they're doing when they go home? How do you know that they're not doing things that energetically affect them negatively, or that they don't have stuff around them that can get into your field? And this isn't meant to scare people or anything. You can have sex with people. The idea is to be aware that when you do, you are energetically exchanging with that person. It can be a good thing if both of you are aligned, both of you are healing, going through things, and you know what's around them, you know who they are. And it can be a really bad thing if you're around somebody who isn't doing any work, who is low vibrational, who has parasites and energetic holes through in their aura, who is not of their highest, in the state of their highest vibration and highest good and that sort of thing. So it's important to understand that when you go to raise your vibration, if you're having sex with just random strangers, if you're in a bar drinking, if you're on Tinder, if you're on all these platforms, that is one of the things you are going to want to cut out of your habits, of your lifestyle, because as you raise, it's going to affect your lifestyle. It's going, or your energy. It's going to affect your lifestyle too, but it's going to affect your energy, because you're going to raise your vibration, and then you're going to have that energy pulled right out of you, transferred to other people while taking on their traumas, taking on their low vibrations, and experiencing the energy of that. The more you rise, the more that you awaken and feel energy, the more you'll feel that and experience that. So it's something about protecting yourself, something to do protecting yourself, protecting your spiritual energy, protecting who you are, and understanding that it's not evil to have sex. Sex is a perfectly natural, normal thing. To quote American Pie, it's a perfectly natural, normal thing that people can experience and is part of the human experience. But you want to be careful of who you're exchanging with. You want to know who they are. You want to know if they're energetically clean. It's not just about physically clean and free of STDs and all this other stuff. It's energetically clean too. And are they somebody whose energy you're willing to do a transfer with? It's not just about the enjoyment and the fun and all that other stuff and the intimacy. It's, are you willing to do an energetic exchange with that person and take on their energy and make that part of your life and your timeline? Are you willing to bring yourself onto a timeline that they exist on because of the energy that they have? Are you willing to deal with traumas and transmute that to deal with energies that are not your own? This is important when you're exploring that realm of sex. And it's why a lot of highly spiritual people are either not in sexual relationships, or if they have a partner, they're intimate with that partner. There's an energy exchange known between that partner, and trust and loyalty and all these other things that go along with it. But when you find a partner who is aligned to you, who is vibrationally aligned to you, who is doing the same work that you are, is on your timeline essentially, that energy exchange isn't an issue, because it's an energy exchange that is aligned to you. But if you find somebody like a lot of us have been through traumatic relationships, less than beneficial relationships. And if you look back at it, you can probably feel and understand that the partner you were aligned with was not sexually healthy for you. Now, maybe they were physically healthy, no issues of any kind, but energetically healthy. That was my past relationship. My partner was not energetically healthy for me at all. It was very, a lot of transmutation would have to occur. When I transmute, I walk, I do things, I have to physically move and do a lot of movement type of work, which a lot of us do. And after having, intimacy with my old partner, that would be every time I'd have to get up, I'd have to move around, I'd have to feel like I'd go do something, go for a walk, that sort of thing. I very rarely felt comfortable enough to shut down and sleep and all that sort of thing. A lot of people have that space where they fall asleep and that. And for me, it was realizing after the relationship that what I was doing was transmuting energy, transmuting all this stuff that was transferred over, but I didn't know it. I did not know that was what was happening to me, and did not know looking until I looked back, until I realized what was going on and left the connection and broke the connection, broke the cord, walked away, that there was an energy exchange. My guides walked me through that, and then I started learning from the spiritual community, from friends I had made about this thing. And I was like, that makes complete sense, that you're actually shifting energy from one person to another. So if a person has a bad day and they come home and they want to energy exchange with you, they want to have sex with you, and they feel better afterwards, well, it's because they've energy exchanged with you and helped balance out their bad day with your good day, which can bring you down. So it's something to be aware of, that sex is an energy transfer. It's a sacred act. It can be used, and this isn't for this course, but it can be used for a variety of very powerful spiritual things by yourself, to fill your spiritual battery, so to speak, and with a partner who is conscious. There's a lot of sacred sex. You could call it sacred sex magic if you wanted to. It's not magic, it's energy. But sacred sex rituals, magic, that sort of thing, that can benefit you and a partner who is conscious and aware of the energy exchange and what is going on. But when you're just randomly hooking up with people, when you're doing those types of things, it's as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than randomly hooking up with people and you don't know if they have an STD or I forget the other abbreviation, but sexually transmitted diseases and those sorts of things. But energetically, how do you know what that person is going through? That's why most, if not all, of the spiritual community, I'd say most of them, do not advocate random sex, random hookups. And for me, I advocate knowing who you're hooking up with, knowing that energy, not just the person, not just the physical vessel, but knowing the energy of that person before you agree to an energy exchange. Understanding what you're going to take on for them and what you're giving them and they're taking on. Just be aware of that. Sex is a sacred energy exchange. And if you're not using, keyword sacred, if you're not using it as a sacred energy exchange, if you're just using it as an energy exchange, it's a way to open the door to shift you out of higher timelines, to bring on trauma, to let energetic parasites in, to let all these things in. Again, sex is not a bad thing. It's part of the human experience. It's part of life. It's part of intimacy with a loving, conscious partner, that sort of thing. But just be aware there is an energy exchange flowing between two people when they're in that space. So thank you for watching. I'm grateful for each and every one of you, and I love you all.